Hi, my name's Haley Zell. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, there are two things you should know about me. First, I'm a musician, and second, I'm an avid record collector, which I imagine you could probably put that together from the title of the video, but if not, now you know. That being said, I wanted to do a little haul. This isn't quite as big as my other two that I've done so far, but this is the little haul that I want to do from Atlantic Sounds, that's what it's called, the Atlantic Sounds record store in Daytona Beach. As you know, if you've been here before, whenever I travel, I love to go find a little record store, and this place was stocked with all sorts of stuff. They had it all well organized. It was crazy. I could have spent all day in there, but I was actually on sort of a time crunch, so I couldn't spend as much time in there as I wanted to. If I had, this would be a much longer video. But my friend recommended to me that I go to this store, so I decided to go ahead and follow that advice, and it definitely was very solid. That all being said, I'm going to go through the albums I picked up, maybe give a little context for why I bought it, some of the songs off the album, etc. If you've seen this before, then you kind of know how this goes. But yeah, let's get started. So, the thing is, all these are in the little sleeves, so let me take it off so you can see it a bit better. So, this is Ambrosia. Of course, the ring light wants to play now. This is Ambrosia. This is called Life Beyond LA. And I have a passing familiarity with Ambrosia. I know like 2 or 3 songs, but one of them is on this album. And this is the album that has How Much I Feel on it, which is probably one of Ambrosia's biggest songs, if I were to wager. Which I'm not, because I don't gamble. But that was a stupid joke. But I think that's probably their biggest song. I like it. It does have this line in there that bothers me. And I have this problem where, like, I'll like a song, and there'll be this one line, and I have to be like, I have to grin and bear it, yep, to grin and bear it through that one line, and then I can go on with my day. Is this a song? Where is it? Yep, okay. So, in How Much I Feel, it's like, if you haven't heard the song before, it's it's a song that's kind of like talking about how much this person loves another woman, and it's like he's proclaiming his love for them, and it seems to be, like it may have been going on for a while, and then at the end of the song, it's a beautiful song, then at the very end he goes, "For years we've been going strong," talking about him in a new relationship. "For years we've been going strong, there's just something I've got to say. Sometimes when we make love, I still can see your face." And every time I hear the song, that line makes me, like, grit my teeth. And I'm just so mad. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, like, you love her, I get that, but, like, you probably shouldn't be in a relationship with another person if you're still thinking about the person A. Like, but I mean, I love the song, so I'm interested to see what else they have on this album. This next one is sort of a divergence for me, because usually I just get music, because that's kind of the main thing. But I saw this and I just absolutely had to get it. It's Robin Williams' Reality, What a Concept. I don't know what year this is from. Oh, there's an explicit language warning. That's funny. I'm going to bet, okay, 79. I was going to guess 78. Which I do believe because I feel like they filmed this as well. If they didn't film it, then I heard it on Pandora in, like, middle school, like the Pandora radio. I used to listen to the Robin Williams station on there, so I feel like I've heard at least parts of that, but I'm not sure. Either way, I'm excited. I like to I'm intrigued to see the different mediums that are going on there. Back to music, I got an album by The Babies. It's called On the Edge. Whenever I see The Babies, I try to get them as long as they had at least 2 different bass players. But one of their bass players was Ricky Phillips, who since 2000 and either like the end of 2003 or the beginning of 2004. He's been the bass player for Styx. So I like to look into the different, it's not really solo careers because it's like he's in different bands, you know, but I like to look into the careers of the different members of Styx, you know, before they came to the band. And so part of that for Ricky Phillips is the babies. And you can see he's right there. Little blondie right there. It's interesting because he's a redhead now, so there's something going on there. Not sure what. I'll find out. Okay, next. This is a Jackson Browne album. I think it's one of his earlier ones. It's called Late for the Sky. Got really beautiful art here. I can't tell if it's a photo or like an actual painting. It looks like it should be a photo, but then that car looks very painted. I really like this font that they have there for his name. I think that's really cool, very swirly. We have the man himself on the back, looking like he's taking his author photo for a novel. I only know the title track on this, and I only heard it for the first time when I saw him and James Taylor live in Orlando last November, I think. That sounds right. So I had never heard it before then, so I'm interested to see what else is on this album. What else awaits me? Oh, this was exciting. So, I love the TV show Family Ties. If you don't know, it's from the 80s, and Michael J. Fox was the lead. I love it, it's great. It's like #1 comfort show for me. And there's this song that is featured in the show that, like, anyone who's watched the show, they know the song. They know, like, they all think about Alex and Ellen dancing at the dance to this song, and that would be At This Moment by Billy Vera and the Beaters. Now, I don't know if this is the right album that I'm looking for, to be honest, because it includes this song, but this seems to be a live album, but the version that everyone knows of At This Moment seems to be a live version, so it's a little convoluted, to be honest. But if anything, I was intrigued to get this also because it says promotional copy, not for sale, and I love stuff like that because it's kind of like, I'm not supposed to have this, you know, but obviously I am. But oh no, it piques my nerdy curiosity there. Now this is a old one for me. This is very, very early. It's my understanding. Let me see if we have a year on this. It says on the cover. Well, this is a very early James Taylor album, 1967, which was the year my dad was born. And this is James Taylor and the Flying Machine. So I'm intrigued to see kind of what's on here, because I don't know any of these songs, but I do know that Flying Machine was kind of what James Taylor was doing before he, like, became James Taylor, if that makes sense. You know, that was sort of his band beforehand. Sort of in the Ted Nugent, Amboy Dukes thing, you know, where he's in a band and then he was just Ted Nugent. Sort of the same vibe, is my understanding. Not entirely certain. But Flying Machine, this is the Flying Machine that's referenced in Fire and Rain, where it's sweet dreams and flying machines and pieces on the ground. It's because the band broke up. Song fact. But yeah, so I'm interested to see what, you know, itty bitty, you know, very early on James Taylor is like. And I also find this album to be very interesting, the front of it, because it's like someone hand wrote the whole thing. So it's very interesting. I don't know, I think it looks cool. I'm intrigued by different different album covers and what makes a good cover, you know. But speaking of notable album covers, David Lee Roth, this is Eat 'Em and Smile. I was so giddy when I saw this in the store because I've not been like trying to chase this one down or anything, but I mean it's Eat 'Em and Smile, and I feel like this is just one of those albums that you kind of want just because if for nothing else it's so stunning to look at. That stupid face he's making, like I don't know what's going on this album cover, even kind of. The back I have even more questions regarding the back, but I don't know. This album has Yankee Rose, which I love that song. That might be my favorite David Lee Roth solo song. I think I'm going to stick with it. And then there's also Going Crazy, which I like that song, but it always freaks me out because I saw the music video, and David Lee Roth's music videos are very interesting, in a lot of good ways, but also in a lot of strange ways. Let's just say that. But oh yeah, his guitarist was Steve Vai. I forgot about that. And Billy Sheehan on bass. Yeah. Greg Bissonette. I don't know if I said that right. On drums. I do not know who that one is. That man. But I'm sure he's awesome. Listen, I can't know everything about everyone. I just gotta know something about most people. This was actually exciting to find because the last haul I did, I got one of the 45s, one of the singles for this album. So it was kind of funny to go, oh, well now I have the actual thing. So this is Toto, Fahrenheit. Go, it's one of the little hole punched ones. I always forget what that means. I've looked it up and I've seen conflicting accounts for what it means. Some people say it's like that indicated that it was on sale at some point. It indicated that it was a radio copy or a promotional copy or all one of those things. And no one seems to agree on what it means, and I'm very confused. But this is the album that has I'll Be Over You on it, which is, I'll say it's in my top 3 Toto songs. I think my top 3 Toto songs are probably in no specific order. Rosanna, Pamela, I love Pamela, and I'll Be Over You, I think. Might change my mind, but as of right now, that's it. So I'm intrigued to see sort of what else is on this album. Man, they're so dorky looking. I love it. Great. Speaking of James Taylor, if you've watched a couple of my hauls now, you know that whenever I see James Taylor or Ted Nugent, I tend to buy it up. So this is James Taylor, Gorilla. It's actually a couple songs on here that I love. Mexico, How Sweet It Is, You Make It Easy. Now that song is like How Much I Feel by Ambrosia, where this song, I love this song. I am obsessed with this song. But it's all about him. He's like sitting at a bar and he's getting drunk, and there's a woman in the bar who is kind of looking at him, and he's kind of like, and he's very interested in her, but he's married. And so he's saying like, you make it easy, babe, for a man to fall, like, you know, from grace. And I don't want to like it because I'm like, adultery, and I'm not crazy about stuff like that, but it's such a good song. Also, I just noticed there's a sticker on the back here. It says 30-day limited warranty, expires on January 25th, 1981. My warranty, it expired before I was born. What in the world? That's hilarious. That's one of the things I like so much about vinyls, that there are all these little bits and bobbits in there that I think are interesting. And that's why I like used vinyl so much, because then sometimes you get things like where this was owned by someone before and they put their name on it, and I don't know, I think that's nice. But this is JT. It's another James Taylor album. His face is very funny to me, because he looks kind of like he's just like like, I don't know, have you ever seen those like video or photos where they'll be like puppeting like Kermit the Frog. And all of a sudden they'll kind of like take their hand out of the puppet, and it just kind of, that's what he looks like to me. I don't know. But I got this album. There's him and Carly Simon. I really like the ones that open up like this, so you have all the photos, because I like to see kind of the history of it. So that's him and Carly Simon. A couple other people I can't see, but that looks like Leland Sklar, who's played bass for everyone. Yeah, that is him. Russell, yeah. Yes. But let's see. Oh, original sleeve. Oh, it's a cardboard one too. See, the cardboard sleeves hold up so nicely. Why is he wrapped in a ball? What's going on? Is he okay? I'm thinking he's not okay. Local man is not doing well. Your smiling face on here. Honey, Don't Leave LA. I'm at least kind of familiar with. I'm not very familiar. Bartender's Blues, I know my dad likes. I'm not also very familiar with that one. Secret Life, my dad loves that one. I also quite like it. Handyman, I love Handyman. I think that's so good. I know it's a cover. But it's so good. I was actually in an antique store when I was in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. And they were playing the original version of Handyman. And I was, shopping. I was meandering. I was looking through stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm going, why am I recognizing this? Where have I heard this before? And then all of a sudden it just clicks in my head. I'm like, James Taylor! And I'm like, wait, no, this isn't James Taylor. What's going on? And it was just a moment. Oh, this is also Traffic Jam on this album. I like Traffic Jam. I've heard this version, the album version before, and I don't remember being crazy about it, but I'm always open to giving stuff another chance. The James Taylor album that I've loved so much is actually a live album from 1993, I believe, and that version of Traffic Jam is the one that I love so much. It's banging. And appropriately, now that we've done James Taylor, Carly Simon. I have no idea what that says. I can't really read cursive that well. I think that says come upstairs. That's kind of what that looks like. Yeah, okay, on the back I see it's come upstairs. So I got this because it was $2. A deal's a deal. And I was intrigued because on the back of the album, I was looking at the track listing, and there appears to be a song, I'm going to double check it before I say it, called James. And I'm saying now, and I'm verifying that indeed there is a song called James. And being that she was married to James Taylor, I assumed that was about him. So, I'm curious. I want to see what they say about each other. I've always been fascinated by their relationship, because if you look at James Taylor's work, he worked with Carly some on like albums, and he would show up on some of her stuff, but a lot of the times he'd be on his albums, and he'd be singing with Carole King and all these other very notable women of the scene at that time. And I'm always just like, if I was Carly Simon, I don't know how I'd feel about him hanging out with Carole King all the time. I mean, she's Carole King, but I'm Carly Simon, So I don't know. Maybe that says something about me. I don't know. But I was very intrigued. Oh my gosh, this is sealed. I did not notice that. Okay. Don't mind me having an epiphany over here. So I got this kind of as a joke, but also very, very seriously. This is Mr. Rogers Sings 21 Favorite Songs from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I love Mr. Rogers. I think the music in the show is one of the best aspects of it. It's so solid. Won't You Be My Neighbor? It's You I Like. Let's see. Everybody's Fancy. Oh my gosh, let's see. It's such a good feeling. I love It's Such a Good Feeling. That's what I was looking for back here at the song listing. If you want to pause and look at that. But this is actually sealed. So now I'm going to be put in this wonderful back and forth of whether or not I open it. I don't know. Because I did buy this with the full intention of listening to the hits of Mr. Rogers. But I guess I'm going to have to think about that now. See, it's weird because as a child, I got a collectible Bella doll, from Twilight. They made a doll that had her in her wedding dress. I'd never even watched Twilight, but I thought she was so pretty, the doll. Honestly, the doll looked kind of like Selena Gomez. It was very strange. But it's like one of those collectible dolls that, like, you're not supposed to open, and I opened it. And I also got a collectible doll set. There was 2 Barbies that were set up in the dressing of the Phantom of the Opera and Christine Daae, from, like, the Broadway musical, like that outfit, and I opened those immediately. Usually I have them on display in my room, but because I have all my Christmas stuff up, they're actually in my closet, for safekeeping. But no, yeah, so I usually just open stuff, but the vinyl always makes me hesitate. I don't know why. It's not like I'm going to sell it. But moving on. One of my favorite artists, in my top 5, let's say, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. This is Let Me Up, I've Had Enough, which I've always fascinated by this cover. They did kind of what Queen did on the Miracle album, although, let's see, this is 87. I don't actually know when the Miracle came out, but it's around this time. Queen may have done it first, Tom Petty may have done it first. I don't know. But they took all the band members' faces and kind of put them together. I think this one's Tom, but I'm not certain. Don't quote me on that. Not certain. Oh man. I haven't opened any of these before right now, so I hadn't seen, we have more original sleeves with more photos. Interesting. But yeah, I did not have this album before I bought it. That's generally the goal. And so I'm a little lacking in the Tom Petty vinyl department, because usually his stuff's a little more expensive. Which is kind of ironic considering the whole thing that happened in the 70s or early 80s, where he got in like a spat with his record label about them raising the price of vinyl. I think of specifically his vinyl. I don't know, I don't remember the details of it, but it's kind of ironic that now his stuff is more expensive, but, when artists pass away, and they're so big already, businesses are gonna business, So this is the album with Jam and Me on it. I like that one. I don't know the other ones on here, but I'm more than willing to learn them. I really love Tom Petty. There's this book I read about him that was simply called Petty, and I don't remember who wrote it. I'm actually looking at it on my bookshelf, but I can't see that far away. It was really, really good. I highly recommend it. It was a great biography. So, moving on. This is another Ted Nugent album. As you know, I always get Ted Nugent. I'm not familiar with this album at all, to be honest. But I saw the the song titles, and I was intrigued, I think is the best word. All I'm gonna say is that one of the songs is called Bound and Gagged, and I was just too curious. I needed to know what in the world was going on, so I went ahead and bought the album. Also, I think we need to appreciate, this man's like over 6 foot, like 6'2" or something. He's got these giant heels on, like 3-4 inch heels. Looks more like 3, but like, you don't need to be taller. You're already like skyscraper height. Do you really need to make it so that you cannot enter doorways without hitting your head? Is that what the goal is here? But, moving on. So this is Crosby Nash. And, let's see, Whistling Down the Wire. So this was a cheaper album, as you can see. I was intrigued because I like Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. So I was like, okay, well, what's Crosby, Nash? I was just a little intrigued by it. I honestly know nothing about this album. I have no information besides what's on the album, and I've never heard any of it before. But I'm interested to see what they had to say. Now this. One of my favorite men. And I've never met him, and I'm probably never going to. Although I did see him in concert, so I've been in the same general vicinity as him. So, I mean, at least I have that going for me. But, this is Michael McDonald, No Looking Back. I'm obsessed with him. I think he's amazing, and I'm so excited to see what's going on. Oh my gosh, I literally just made sure I did not own this, and then I bought it. This is the album with Sweet Freedom on it. And first off, bangin' song. Second off, if you've ever seen, there's a TV show called Yacht Rock. It's on YouTube. It's like 12 episodes. It's so stupid, and I love it so much. And Sweet Freedom is a big plot point in the show. So I'm very excited to see that it made its way to me. Next, Heart Magazine. First off, I think this is a really interesting album cover with sort of that circle with the design in there. I think that looks cool. The only song I know on this is the first one, which is Heartless, which a friend recommended to me like half a year ago. To be honest, I think, let's see. Yeah, so I only know the one song. So, I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what Heart had to do here. This is 78, so this is pre-commercial Heart, as I tend to view it. Speaking of commercial Heart, here's commercial Heart. This is Heart Bad Animals, which I call it commercial Heart. I love commercial Heart. I actually like it a little bit better than some of the pre-commercial stuff, if you will. But I respect it either way, but just it's a good distinction for me, at least, to know the different eras of their music, because they are very different. This is Who Will You Run To, Alone, and then of course Bad Animals, the title track. I did not know this. It's produced and engineered by Ron Nevison. If I'm correct, could be wrong. This is always my disclaimer. If you haven't seen these videos before, my disclaimer is always, I could be wrong, but according to my brain and what I think I remember, this is, correct. Ron Nevison, I do believe, was the producer for Damn Yankees, which is one of my other favorite bands. Okay, moving on. Should have really put this one with the other one, because it's the same album. I kind of did this on purpose, but I also kind of did it on accident. This is another copy of Michael McDonald's No Looking Back, but it's they've switched it, which I thought was weird. So this is what they're showing as the front, and this is the back. Whereas for this one, this is the front, and this is the back. So I thought that was so weird. I don't know why I'm looking at the song list. Oh! I don't know why I'm so excited right now. But they are different though, because this one has Sweet Freedom, and this one does not. I don't know why. So on the one with Sweet Freedom on it, it says, with the exception of Sweet Freedom, all of the material on this album was previously released on the Warner Bros. LP, cassette, and compact disc Michael McDonald No Looking Back. So I wonder why they did that. That doesn't seem very economical. But I mean, who am I to question Warner Bros. In the 80s? But yeah, so, same album. But, I don't know, I was just sort of intrigued to see what that was, and I also kind of did it on accident, because I was looking at it, and I was like, haven't I seen this man before? And then I looked at it, I'm like, no, that's a different cover. So I kind of did it on accident, but also I'm not mad. Things are going to happen the way things are going to happen. Okay, our next album, and our last album, is a very classic one. We'll call it that. It certainly is a very, very big album. And let's see. And I know 2 songs on it. But one of them is my favorite song by this band. So it's Foreigner. It's the Agent Provocateur album. Did you know that apparently the tour that happened behind this album was called the Agent Provocateur Tour? Try saying that 3 times fast. I have. I'm not good at it. This album, of course, is the one with I Wanna Know What Love Is, which is probably their biggest song. Once again, I am not the Billboard music charts police, so I don't know. But they also have on this album That Was Yesterday, which is... It's kind of switches between that and Urgent, but That Was Yesterday has some amazing vocals on it. So I tend to kind of lean that way more than Urgent. Although Urgent's saxophone parts are also pretty banging. I don't know. I don't know why I'm comparing stuff. You don't necessarily need to. But, yep. Heavier than I was expecting. That is my vinyl haul from Atlantic Sounds in Daytona Beach. It was a really nice place, very well organized. As I said earlier, they had like 2 main rooms, one with new releases and all sorts of stuff. I didn't barely get to look in there, but they also have like posters, and then they have another room with the used stuff. They also have cassettes, they had CDs and DVDs too, I think, and just the whole place is very well decorated. I know that's not like a big deal to some people, but the atmosphere of this place was immaculate. And also, one more thing while I'm thinking of it. Okay. So the reason that I was in Daytona, because it's kind of far from where I live, it's because I was going to this drum masterclass with Todd Zuckerman from Styx, as you know, because I said it earlier. That's my favorite band. And he signed some stuff. I got his autograph on 2 items that I brought. One was this, I don't really know what to call it. It's a program from my first Styx concert. My first Styx concert was in 2015. It was on the Carnival Ecstasy cruise. And so they like to make these things so that you know what's going on. And of course, I had highlighted Styx the VIP experience, because that's what I was participating in. And so I got him to sign this other side where it says tonight only Styx concert. And there, to Haley. There's Todd's signature there. So I got that because I thought that would just be really cool. Obviously I like it as a symbol of that concert because I've had it since 2015, and that was 7 years ago. So obviously it kind of means something to me, at least. And then the other thing I got him to sign was the Styx, the Same Stardust EP, which brings us back into vinyl. That's, see, connecting. This vinyl I got on Record Store Day in 2021. It was before the Crash of the Crown album was released. And I remember panicking about this thing, trying to make sure I got it, because the store near me is set up a little strange for like Record Store Day. and like you need to get armband and show up at a specific time, and I don't know, I was nervous, but I'm glad that I did it because oh my gosh. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's transparent. You can kind of see my hand through it there. It's like a transparent, but it's this gorgeous, gorgeous blue. You see you have our label there in the middle. Gorgeous. And so I give this to Todd to sign, and he goes, I don't know if I've signed one of those yet. And I'm like, yes, because I'm always trying to, you know, be notable, because I'm an annoying little fangirl, so I want people to remember me. So I'm like, yes, I've succeeded. But I got him to, he took it out and like investigated the the vinyl. But it was really nice. He went through the back, which the thing about this EP that I like is it's 2 songs that they had to cut from Crash of the Crown. The Same Stardust, which I love, and Age of Entropia, which is also so solid. It's amazing. And then they have all these live versions of some of their classic songs, including this version of Man in the Wilderness I was excited to see, and Miss America, which I love. Miss America. Miss America is one of those songs that shines live. It's fantastic, and I'm obsessed with it, to be honest. But so he like went through the song listing, you know, kind of observing it, which was funny to me. And then he signed it once again to Haley, Todd Zuckerman. So that's that now is officially the end of my Daytona record haul, if you will. Although I technically didn't buy this, I already owned it. But you know, I felt I should include it because it was a part of that trip. But if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I love doing these record hauls because not many people like to sit there and listen while I just blabber on about music for almost 40 minutes. So this allows me to satisfy my desire to talk about nonsense for a while, and it also frees the people around me, my family and loved ones, from having to sit through me talk about music in great detail for so long. So this is really a best of both worlds situation, and I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have anything you want to see from me, I'm kind of figuring out what my content's going to be on here. But if you have any suggestions, any requests, or anything, feel free to leave in the comments. Feel free also to like and subscribe. I just hit 100 subscribers, which was my goal for the year, so I'm so excited. Thank you so much for everyone who helped put that together. And if you're not subscribed yet, I mean, there's always the 200 goal. But once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, have a good holiday season. That's the other thing I want to say. Also, don't you like my tree? I know this is only the bottom half of it, but I'm rather proud of it. But thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.